monsters, aliens. Dads, when you take a different career path, there are many scary things to a child, but one team has protected their world from at least two of the categories for more than 20 years. So, what's one more? Hello, my name is Rocksteady World, and today I'm going to see if Omni-man can conquer a world being defended by a different set of heroes. I'm going to see if Omni-man can beat the Power Rangers.
I will burn this planet down before I spend another minute living among these animals.
It's time for us to break down the opponents in this matchup. So, I'm going to start off with the person I've already scaled before, that being Omni-man. So, Omni-man, as a member of the conquering Viltrumite race, has his physical stats enhanced through many years of selective breeding. Didn't think I would have to say that, but we go on many tangents here. So, because of this stuff, he has superhuman strength, speed, durability, and can even fly. But if you want to break down his strength and speed more thoroughly, he's easily massively faster than light with small planetary implications. The reason for this is quite simple. He flew from Earth to the Virgo space cluster within a week. And keep in mind that the cluster should be at least 6 million light years away. This should mean that no one can, at least in space, fly at 3,389,285,714 times the speed of light. And while he cannot reach those speeds in Earth's atmosphere due to the resistance, it should be at least similar enough range, making him basically automatically massively faster than light. And then him being planetary to more likely than not small planetary, it should be self-explanatory. He and two other Viltrumites were able to destroy a planet. This was calced at 0.567 zetatons of TNT, or small planet level, for each of the contestants, right? And while Omni-man has gone stronger since then, even if he were to multiply his strength by, let's say, 10 times, he would still not exceed small planetary. And now that I've properly scaled his physical stats, it's time we go over any unique special abilities. Him being a Viltrumite, it just kind of means his method of combat is typically being physically superior to others around him. And on top of that, he is, resistant to a lot of things thanks to his supercells, like heat, cold, and the main one in this instance, cosmic radiation, which, might play a part in this fight. On top of that, he does have thousands of years of combat experience, so overall, he is a very, very menacing opponent, and you know what? Even if it took a long time, I'm glad he's finally on our side.
I think I miss my wife.
Alright, so I have to establish some things before we dive into the juicy bits. First, I will be using the original team, because that's the one I grew up with, and the one I had on DVD, aka Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I will be taking them at their peak in power, which should be Season 3. On top of that, they should all scale to each other, with the exceptions being the Red Ranger and the White Ranger / Green Ranger being slightly above the rest of them. And yeah. So, I'm just gonna move on to the small stuff, aka when they're normal humans and they haven't morphed yet. I say normal, but they still scale above other humans, and I do have a calc putting them at small building level. This is due to Bulk and Skull, who are bullies who consistently lose to the Rangers. They were able to crash through a garage door, a metal garage door, This was calced at 0.01273 tons of TNT, or small building level. However, let's be frank, no one wants to watch a video of the human Power Rangers fighting Omni-man. We want to see them, and we want to know how strong they are when they morph, right? And at the very start, the very beginning, they should be able to fight evil forces such as the ones who destroyed Hordy's planet. This is about 3.74 rotatons of TNT. But that's not the end. As they grow steady in their fight against Rita and Lord Zed, and eventually increase their power by at least 30-fold. This is a fact because we, as the viewers, we see Octoplant blow up the Earth, and it's in a magical view of the future. So it's literally what would happen if the Rangers did not stop the monster. It would have been able to do that. This was calculated at 119.018 rotatons, or brown dwarf star level, but through their many years of service, they have traveled around the galaxy, defeating foes of various evils and growing even stronger. But if you're traveling around the galaxy fighting evil, you need at least good speed to move around the galaxy, right? And you know what? That's right, but it's actually surprisingly high. So, to start off as the baseline, they should scale to MFTL. This is because the Tengas, one of the foot soldiers of a future villain for the Rangers, were able to fly to the Desert of Despair. This was calculated at around, I want to say, 6 million times the speed of light. However, they do get a little faster than that, and we are talking about space travel, and they do have the ability to increase their speed even further by converting into orbs of energy, which, when in this form, they are able to move at 4,729,755,076,093 times the speed of light. However, they only really do this in space and for space travel, but they can do it at any time. So just keep that in mind. But now that we've broken down their strength and speed, let's just get into them as far as training. So they should all be master martial artists. And since we're using them at their peaks, they shouldn't have really gone too far as skill, but masters nonetheless. And on top of that, they should have been doing this for a couple of years to maybe half a decade. However, they have learned a lot in their time on the battlefield, such as mastering all sorts of weapons, as well as through combating and all that training. They have been able to predict their opponent's moves rather thoroughly thanks to their near limitless energy provided by the power coins. They then learn to harness that energy. They can absorb it and disperse it at will. On top of that, they are still growing every single day, meaning that even if you knock them down, they won't be gone for long, which is exactly why they are called Earth's Defenders.
Morphin' time! Dragon Sword!
Mastodon!
Pterodactyl!
Triceratops!
Saber-tooth tiger!
Tyrannosaurus!
Hey everybody! So as you can probably guess from this little shake-up in the video, this is where I ask you to subscribe. Why am I doing that? Well, I would like to hit 1,000 subs. I was told by my analytics that I was going to hit 1,000 subs in 2026. I'm going to be honest. I want to beat it sooner. I want to beat the machine. I want to beat the AI. So if you guys like this content, make sure to subscribe. It helps out a ton. And make sure to share it with your friends if they're into power scaling, or if they're not into power scaling, they can be confused on why certain characters beat up other characters and why this character is stronger than this character, right? Anyway, let's get back to the video. Alright, we have successfully broken down the stats of our combatants. And what does this mean? It means the super serious character from the show made for adults with a ton of blood is and gore is going to lose to get this, the Power Rangers. Yep. I'm just gonna be frank. With the way Omni-man scales, he has no way of winning. Now, against a single Ranger, as long as it's not the red or green Ranger, he might have a shot. Especially since Omni-man should be faster in the atmosphere, at least, than the Rangers. But simply put, there are 6 of them. All 6 of them hit way harder than Omni-man could ever dream of. And to put into perspective, Omni-man is small planetary. Even if you boost his power by 50 times, he would just barely make it into planetary, right? The Rangers in Season 1 can already take hits from creatures that destroy planets, and they grow even further beyond that every single day. And keep in mind, because they're consistently fighting planet busters. And then in Season 2, they fight people who can make explosions that are similar to, or that are strong enough to blow up a brown dwarf star. This blows anything Omni-man can do out of the water. Even if you were using the theoretical highballed version of Omni-man, he still wouldn't win. Just since even if you massively wank him, and let's say you put him to star level, right? He'll still be fighting 6 combatants that are all relatively just as strong as him. And if we use the highballed version of Omni-man, we then use the highballed version of the Rangers, and then you highball both their speeds, and then as it turns out, the Rangers are even faster. So yeah, surprisingly enough, the Power Rangers have this, and honestly, I would say maybe 9 out of 10 times, the only way Omni-man wins is if they don't know he exists, he instantly tries to sneak attack them, and then he somehow manages to take out all 6 of them at the exact same time. Because even in their human forms, they should be able to maybe not run fast, but they can at least react to massively faster than light combatants. So, and dodge, those kind of attacks. And if they reach for the Morpher and even one of them is able to pull it off, especially the red and green Rangers, he's done. But let's be honest, this was already foretold, because out of all the aliens in the universe, they all cheer or fear for one group, and that's the Power Rangers. Because at the end of the day, they are Earth's defenders. So, let's be frank, one more alien invasion isn't gonna kill them.
Power Rangers!
Alrighty, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you were surprised by the outcome, I suggest putting it in the comments, because guess what? You're not the only one who is surprised by this outcome. I'm going to be honest, no one was more surprised than me while I was researching this. And while videos like these in particular, I need to do a lot of research and write a script and, editing and all that. So, if you guys would be willing to drop a subscription, I know I mentioned it prior, but hey, it always helps. Share the video around and like it. It's going to help out. But in the meantime, I'm going to see if the Invincible fandom will be angry with me or not. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. And honestly, I really do want you to voice your opinions in the comments below. So, without further ado, this is Rox signing out.